the lady then went bonkers and was like, no, people. Eventually, I understood that she was saying people of color should not be sitting with her. Hey guys, my name is Katleho and I am from South Africa. I am an English high school teacher in Shenzhen and you're watching the Blackpats. So there is really no reason as to why I came to China. I like to believe that China chose me. I met up with a friend. He then told me about a teaching opportunity in South Korea. When I applied, the lady who was recruiting told me that, you know what, South Korea has a bit of problems. Sometimes black people, they want silky hair and fair skin. And I was not prepared to start wearing a weave just for a job. Like, And then I let that go. After a while, she emailed me and told me about recruiting in China. The restrictions aren't as much as in South Korea. I was working in a marketing division in a company in Johannesburg, and the money I was getting was really good. I mean, my brother was like, I'm getting a lot of money for a person who just graduated, but I felt that, you know, moving to China would actually be good for me because the thing with me is I yearn for passion. I want to be passionate in what I'm doing. So that's why I decided, you know what, traveling has been a passion for me. And because I had traveled to Europe when I was in high school, I realized that I want to continue traveling. And just staying in a job that pays well but not really using the money to travel, getting a few days to travel was not really for me. Now, yeah, I'm traveling in Asia and it's amazing. So what I do day to day, basically I do not have office hours. So it's not that I have to be at work or in an office from 8 until 5. I just have to go to the class, then I have teach and then do whatever I want. So basically that's what I do. I have my class. After school I will have my part-time tutoring. And in the evenings I either go for Muay Thai, Wushu or Kung Fu. And well, right now I'm actually thinking about Wushu and martial arts exam, so that when I go back to South Africa I can do something with my experience, with my training rather, and then teach people how to fight. My greatest shock when I got here is just how people stare at you. I've never experienced, but then not only the staring, the fact that people would come and take pictures right in front of your face. You feel weird, man. It's like, ooh, what am I? Have you never seen a person like me? But after a while you kind of get used to it, but then it's not that you really get used to it, it's like you learn to accept it. But even though when it happens, especially on a bad day, you just don't want all that attention. Well, because I have like such hair, people will be pulling it and, you know, just touching it without asking. Sometimes I tell them that, listen, you have to put yourself in our shoes. That how would you feel if somebody did that to you? Would you appreciate it? Or how would you feel if you were in a foreign country and people were doing such? But yeah, the other shock is how people would just point at you and go, yo, foreigner. It's like, yeah, I know. So you can't do anything about it. So. Okay, well, things I dislike about China, well, the first one has to be the continuous staring. It's really uncomfortable. The second thing is smoking. I did not know that smoking is such a huge tradition or such a huge culture here, especially being a person with sinuses, and I always avoided people who smoke, but now you just walk and it's smoke everywhere. And the other thing would be the fact that most people cook their vegetables with oil, especially being a person who loves healthy food. So everywhere you, or not everywhere, but like most places you go to, they have fried vegetables, fried broccoli. Like, no, you don't fry broccoli. The spitting, you see it once you get here. It's just, you can't even. It's hard to accept. It's really hard to accept people spitting everywhere, and sometimes it happens out of the blue. You'd be walking and someone just spits right in front of you, so you have no time to be like, whoa, it just happened, and they move on. So one other thing I just not understand is how the parents would allow the kids to go to the bathroom in public spaces, just right here on the floor or in a bin inside the mall. It does not make sense to me. I understand the bathrooms might be far, but it still does not make sense. Things that I like about China, for one, is that people are nice. You get nice people who are willing to help you. The nice thing about Shenzhen is that the place is quite modern. Anything that you want everywhere, just that it's at a high cost, but it's worth it if you miss home. Because we are expats, we all form our community. You want to be with people who know exactly what you're going through. It's a helping community. The kids are quite disciplined. Oh yeah, the difference between high schoolers in South Africa and high schoolers in China. In China, they're really disciplined, whereas in South Africa, it's a thing of most of the kids had parents who had farms. Whereas in China, it's a thing of the parents are they push the kids to the limit. So they have to get into the best university, the best this, be the best that. So they really work hard to get to that point, and they take their exams very seriously, which is something you don't see in South Africa. I mean, a student here will not be satisfied with a 60%, and you're like, oh, but it's still 60, you passed. For them, a 60 is a fail, a 70 is still a fail. So the drive is actually quite amazing to see. They have a lot of drive. But we in South Africa, we have time for sports and just other activities, whereas they actually don't have that much time. We are actually more blessed with that, whereas they have more academic pressure. We have sports and academics. So craziest experience for me in China was actually in Hong Kong. I was flying to Thailand on my birthday. I thought, okay, let me take myself out, fly to a country, have fun there. And then as I'm waiting for my flight, I go to the food court, get some food. All the tables were packed, and there was a long table with several people. This lady, she wasn't, or her side of the table, there weren't a lot of people. I went to her, she kept on saying, people, people, pointing back where you can buy the food. I thought she was saying that she's waiting for people to come, or like her people, her family or her friends. People sitting opposite her, I asked them, oh hey guys, can I sit next to you? They were like, yeah, okay. They started scooting over. The lady then went bonkers and was like, no, people, people. Eventually, I understood that she was saying people of color should not be sitting with her. Luckily at that time, another table opened, so I went to sit there. But before I actually went, I asked these people, the men sitting in front of her, opposite her, that, hey, what is she saying? And they didn't want to translate. I'm like, no, what is she saying? And then they're like, no, just leave it, it's okay. There were two little Indian girls, probably like 14 and 10, and they were having their own food. Suddenly the lady goes to them and she starts saying things. So I mean, these are kids who are confused, they don't understand the language, but one of them went back to where you can get the food and she got a bag, but the bag obviously had no food. And the lady starts going off with them again. So, I mean, as a kid, someone's yelling at you for no reason, you don't understand the language. So the kid just got up and they left, and then, well, these two kids were Indian, sorry. So then I realized that she actually has a problem with people of color. It's not just the black people thing, just like a people of color thing. Well, the other thing that I also should say is that the lady, she did not seem well. Like, something was just not okay with her, and she was not there to fly. She's one of the people who goes to the airport or to places to collect trash and probably take it to the recycle companies. So it's not the people in Hong Kong who will treat you like that, it's just an experience I had. And also the difference between racism and ignorance in Shenzhen is that the people here are more ignorant than racist because they have never encountered a black person, so they don't know how to act towards you. That's why they will then turn to taking pictures of you or pulling your hair, because I don't know, they just don't understand what's going on with what they're seeing. And also where they would see a person of color is on TV. I have learned to be more patient. You would think that, you know, you are a patient person and whatnot until you are put in a position where you really have to prove that you are patient. Because if you are short-tempered and people come up to you and pull your hair and they're just all over your space, it's easy for you to, you know, freak out and do something that will get you in trouble. So just learn to be more patient and also understanding that you are most probably the first black person that people are seeing. But also as a teacher, I teach my students that, you know what, put yourselves in the person's shoes. How would you feel if you were to be treated in such a manner? Wherever we go, we see people who are different. They still do not want to get their stays. They still do not want to be treated differently. The weather is not the same at all, so do not expect to be, do not expect the same weather. I mean, yeah, Shenzhen is hot, but you don't understand how hot it is until you get here. And people will tell you, but you're from Africa. You're like, no, I'm from South Africa. When you say you're from Africa, people will not always know whether you're saying Southern Africa or South Africa. So sometimes it's best to say the Republic of South Africa if that's where you're from. Honestly, enjoy it, because living in a place where you would be complaining constantly about food or how you're being treated, you're gonna end up disliking it more and more. Whereas just embrace it. Be like, you know what, it's how it is. It doesn't happen every day, but just know that it is gonna happen, not every day, and it's nice. If you want to feel like a celebrity, China's the place to be. So if you have any questions on being a South African in China, or being African, black, or just a person of color, check out my Instagram. It's at Katleho_Dawn. That's KATLEHO_DAWN, and I will be happy to answer any question that you have. And feel free.